Hey guys, welcome back to Unimportant Reviews. My name's Steve, and today I'll be going over the NECA Series 3 NECA Coyote Tango. As you can see, it's currently not in the packaging because I already did an intro video with it in the packaging, but it got corrupted, and since he's out of the box, I can't really go back over it with you guys. So I'm going to be redoing this intro for you guys, just so I can have a little bit of something to start the video off with. But this is one of the only other Mark 1s that we get from the line, other than Cherno Alpha, which I'll be doing a video of that in not too long. This is the Jaeger that was piloted by Idris Elba, or as you knew him in the film as Stalker Pentecost, which I gotta say, I'm really happy that NECA decided to give us this figure, just so that I have some way of representing that guy in my collection. Mainly because any of the really good scenes from the movie that didn't involve any of the Jaegers generally involves Stalker Pentecost in the film, and I just gotta say, I really love Idris Elba's performance in the film. Like, all of the speeches in the movie, like, anytime he just opens his mouth, it's just epicness that just comes out of that. Like, one of the scenes with Riley, where he's just like, 1, don't you ever touch me again. 2, don't you ever touch me again. I just love it. And, another thing to point out is, especially from the packaging, is that this Jaeger has a kill count of 2, which you see in the film during the Mako flashback sequence, where he kills the Kaiju Oni Baba. And if you read the novelizations, the second kill that you get from it is a monster called Suramander off the coast of Hawaii that he takes out with Eureka Striker, I do believe. Which is neat. Like, it gives you a good reason to read the books, especially like you get a lot more of like a background story in a lot of the Jaeger. So I really do highly recommend, if you guys haven't read the books and you really like the story from Pacific Rim, it's a good idea to get them. Also in the film, this is the first Jaeger to ever get piloted by itself, which Stalker Pentecost points that out in the film, because during the Oni Baba fight sequence in the Mako flashback, you see that he's only one piloted by himself. That was because the other pilot that was inside the suit, inside his little brainy thing there, was knocked out because of the radiation poisoning, so he ended up piloting this thing during the entire fight all by himself. And then the only other Jaeger that was ever piloted alone was Gypsy Danger, which we all know and love. So since he's already opened up out of his plastic prison, let's get into the review. Overall design of this guy, I really do love how he looks. He's definitely the most Gundam looking of the Jaegers, with the giant shoulder cannons and his overall profile of him. And bring him in for a closer look. I do really like the helmet, the way it turned out, especially with the blue on the glass here. It's just really, really nice look. And then this little gunmetal paint job here. And then some of the things I've seen, like he has the USAF here, which is weird because he's a Japanese Jaeger, or at least he was stationed in Japan for the movie. But then if you read the books and stuff, like I pointed earlier, he actually fought in Hawaii and stuff, so I do believe that he was made in the USA. He's just stationed all over parts of the earth, which helps me understand that. And he's got the nice 34 up here, just like Gypsy Danger. And then one weird thing about this guy is he has turtle hands with his 3 fingers. I just want to point that out because it's just like overall, like it's kind of a weird look with the knuckles. But it helps differentiation from a lot of the other Jaegers, because a lot more of their hands are more like human-esque, other than Coyote or the Crimson Typhoon. And then for his legs, it's a really nice design they went with here too. And it actually reminds me, if anybody's ever played the game Armored Core, like these look like they were just straight ripped out from that game. Which I'm not saying is a bad thing. That game was sweet, and overall I really do like the design here with the metal kneecap coming out of here. And then how big his feet are. Which I do also really like that he has the overall, they actually had detail down here. Which is a nice little added touch that he did. And it really actually helps the overall size of his feet to keep him standing. Like it's really hard to knock this guy down. Unless you're sitting here like, Drah. And then for the back of his, just show you guys the detailing on his back. It's just overall just amazing how this guy looks. And as you guys can see, one other thing this guy has is his shoulder cannons move. Which, for me, I would have just been happy enough if this thing was just sitting back. Let alone, they actually have articulation here. which is just phenomenal. And I do really love the look of these cannons overall, with the bronze of the barreling and the overall gunmetal look here. Even though it's kind of weird because he's got these little screw things here, which I don't really understand what those are. And inside the barrel, if you guys can see, it's got the gray paint just like everything else, and it would have been nice if they would have maybe added some black in there or something just to show that it's a hole. But overall, I still love how these look, and it just helps with the overall getting the posing done for him, because you can have him sending out his cannons out, or you could kind of represent how he does in the poster with one cannon kind of pointing up and he's just kind of looking out. Like, it's just, I really do love that they added that touch to this, and it just really helps with the selling point of this figure. One other thing I want to point out about the paint job on this guy is I really do like the gunmetal look on this. And also, if you look on like his arms and stuff, you can see where they did like a nice little brown wash over this. They give it a nice rust look to it. And it's really sweet because it gives this guy more of like an antique kind of feel to him. Where he is like one of the oldest Jaegers in that was in the line anyways, because he's a Mark 1. So it just makes this figure feel like it's just old, and I really do love it. So for the articulation on this guy, as you guys seen earlier, the cannons can move up and down. They move about that far, which I really do feel bad for anybody that is standing on the ground when this guy is looking at me. He's just like, I can see you. And then they move all the way back. Well, for his head, he has a little bit of a swivel on it. It's on a nice little ball joint, which it only really gets about that far to the sides because of the tracks the shoulder cannons run on. Then for his arms, they move up and down. Again, 360 range of motion. They move only slightly out and back and forth. Like they're on a ball joint in there too, but it's just how big the shoulder is. It just really hinders that movement there. So he has a little bit of the same problems with Gypsy Danger, especially with the elbow. It is about as much of the range of motion as you're going to get out of it. But one thing they actually did do is he has a turn up here at the bicep, which really helps with that a little bit. So you can get like nice posing where the cannon's down, where he's just like, Virgia! And it's really good. Or you could bring him in a little bit and he gets like the crunch look. And then for his hands, they're also on a ball joint where they rotate all the way around. They got a nice range of motion. He has tummy crunch, because pretty much that entire section is just like another ball joint down here. And nice 360 range of motion with his waist. This for the figure, it's got a lot of movement there. And for his legs, they move a little bit in and out, and they got a nice range of motion going back and forth. Same with his knees, got a little bit of a bend to it. And then for his feet, they got a pivot. They move side to side, up and down, all the way around. But unlike Gypsy Danger, he doesn't have the bend here at the back of the foot, which is fine because it helps with the overall keeping this guy stationary, because he has a lot of weight here on the back. So I'm really glad that this doesn't have the bend, because I would imagine this thing would just be like flopping over all the time if this moved. So I'm really glad that they decided not to go with that with this guy. So there's articulation overall. I don't think it's really all that bad. Granted, I really wish the shoulders had some movement, but they compensated with this arm pivot here, so that really makes me happy. I mean, overall, the elbows don't really need to move for me all that much. Like, mainly you would have been sitting like this on my shelf anyways. So it works really good for me, and overall, everything else is just... This is just a pretty good improvement over what we got with like the Gypsy Danger mold and stuff like that. And I'm just really happy that NECA is just stepping up their game with every release that they've been coming out with these figures. And here's Coyote Tango compared next to Trespasser and Crimson Typhoon. And here he is compared next to NECA's Lava Planet Predator. So overall with this figure, I am very happy that NECA decided to give us a Coyote Tango figure. Mainly just so I can have some way of representing Stalker Pentecost in my collection. And it's a really good figure in general. Like, I really do love that the cannons move, and just the overall detailing and the paint effects on this guy are phenomenal. And it's just, NECA knocked it out of the park with this guy. And I'm super happy to have this thing in my collection. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys have this guy in your collection? Or are you guys thinking about picking it up? Or just, yeah. I would really like to know in the comments section. And if you guys like this video and want to see more stuff like this, please subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.